Hey, Ace Family!
Hello! We're gonna go Legoland!
Do you want to go for a ride in the car? Yeah, you do.
Jackson, Landon, Sutton, Hanson, Reagan, dinner table.
Do I feel like a failure as a mom? Like 500%.
I need you to take a walk with me. Think of the worst thing, the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you in your childhood. I don't know if you fell in the mud and mud all over your face and everyone started pointing and laughing at you. Now, I want you to imagine that your parent walks up while your face is in the mud and they take a picture of you crying. And then they say, do it again. Look sad. And you're literally just crying and you're like, Mom, please get me out of this mud. And they're like, just taking all these pictures of you. And then they say, okay, all right, get up. And then they start looking through the pictures. We didn't get it. Hold on. What is she taking those photos for? The thumbnail on YouTube, of course. We gotta milk this. They put the title in the video. Oh, Sadie's dog passed away. And the thumbnail is you crying and like an exaggerated cry. And the cold open of the video is you just crying in the car because your dog just passed away. Come on, this is the reality of family channels. And I will scream about this all day, but there is a light at the end of a tunnel. Recently, I believe it's in Washington, they have been working to pass a bill to end internet child exploitation. Oh, it gives me shivers. By the way, if you're a person that has consumed family channel content, whoa, do not feel guilty, not your fault at all. These people preyed on a lot of us that had broken families that wished we had this type of home, and we would watch longingly like, wow, I hope I have a husband like that one day. Wow, I hope I have a beautiful family like that. Wow, I hope that I'm rich like that and can take care of that, right? While behind the scenes, they were fighting and abusing their kids and exploiting their trauma. This is a video from a political hearing where an ex-child influencer, personally, I don't know what channel she was from or like what her name was or anything. She's going by her real name now, and I think she would like to keep it that way, but let's hear what she has to say.
First, I just want to thank you, Mr. Chair, and ranking members of the committee for your time. My name is Kami, and I'm here to testify in support of House Bill 1627. I just want to note that today is the first time that I've introduced myself with my legal name in 3 years because I'm terrified to share my name. Because the digital footprint I had no control over exists.
I might cry. No, I'm not gonna cry. We're gonna be strong today, boys.
When you Google my name, simply just my first name, childhood photos of me in bikinis will pop up, and I'm terrified to have those weaponized against me again. When I was 9 years old, the intimate details of my first period were shared online. At 12, I received a DM from a man who I didn't know who saw me riding my bike and told me he followed me home.
Really quick, the YouTube mom saying, oh, I'm documenting Cammy's first period. Oh yeah, she just got her first period and she hates it. Dude, getting your period as a young girl is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I don't know why, but it just is. And it's horrible when your mom starts telling her friends that she just got her period. Now imagine your mom tells a million people, and then you tell her like, hey, this made me like uncomfortable. And she's like, what? It's normal. Everybody has it. And then your discomfort is just ignored. And then you learn to ignore your discomfort, right? Your parent tells you to forget about it. Then for the rest of your life, whenever you get uncomfortable, you just numb yourself out and say, yeah, forget about it. It doesn't matter. It's fine. You'll start to treat yourself the way that your parents treated you growing up. And that is not okay.
At 15, I was in a car accident in which the fire department had to come with the jaws of life to remove a car door off of my leg.
Oh my God.
Instead of a hand being offered to hold, a camera was shoved in my face. My first year in high school, I had a severe case of MRSA, which had me in and out of the hospital for 3 months, all of which was posted and over-exaggerated on social media. When I'd returned to school, my math teacher, who had seen my mother's posts, would taunt me and tell kids to stay away from the infected girl, which led to peer bullying, the decline of my mental health, which inevitably led me to dropping out of school.
Her mom probably let her drop out because that meant more content from her homeschooling there. And also, she could do a couple videos on it, right?
Mr. Chairman and ranking members of the committee, I plead you to be the voice for this generation of children because I know firsthand what it's like to not have a choice in which a digital footprint you didn't create follows you around for the rest of your life with no option for it to be removed.
How much money do the Ace family have? Millions. You know what? You know what these YouTube and social media moms do? When they start to run out of content, they go birth another actor. A lot of like women that have been pregnant or have families or that have baby fever, they love watching pregnancy content. So they get months of views all through the pregnancy. And then here's all the updates on our new son. The U.S. is finally dealing with the exploitation of child influencers. Washington State is taking steps to be the first in the U.S. to regulate the child influencer industry. I will be behind this 100%. Where do I need to lobby? Where do I need to sign? Put the paper in front of me. I'll sign it with my mouth. The practice of parents exploiting their children through videos found on YouTube or TikTok is finally seeing some real scrutiny in the US. Now, once again, I want to mention, if you are a parent or something that has posted videos of your kid on social media or TikTok, honestly, it's normal. You saw it happening around you for the longest time. This is the opportunity to stop, because now it's starting to get in front of you. Hey, here are the causes. There's perverts and pedophiles that are out here looking at pictures of kids, taking photos of your kids. Did nobody think of this? Are you kidding me? This was something that used to happen to Mary Kate and Ashley, and it scarred them. It scarred them as children. Wake up. Okay, sorry. The Washington State Legislature held its first hearing this week for House Bill 1627, which aims to ensure that children who are heavily featured or star in online content have a right to financial compensation for their work. This is going to make these little YouTube moms so angry, because to have to share would require that parent to treat the child as an equal, which they don't want to do. To them, they're an object. They're an object to help them make money, and they don't want to think about the damage that they're doing. They think they own them. They think they own their trauma. They think that they own their image, and they think they know what's best. It marks the first attempt to introduce legislation into the U.S. that puts guardrails on this trend, which has seen a rise in YouTube family vlogs and TikTok accounts featuring children who range in age from newborns to teens. The content, which allows the public to see, share, and comment on intimate aspects of their lives, has become increasingly lucrative sliver of social media. The thing that made somebody step in on this was these two. This is Myka Stauffer. Myka Stauffer gained national news after she traveled outside of the country. She went to China and she adopted a child that had mental disabilities, a range, and they were severe. They were severe, and they told her that they were severe. So not only is there a big cultural difference here, but also that he's got mental issues. And Myka said, I want that child. Not only did she say, I want that child, she was documenting the whole thing. Hey, we're going to go outside of the country and we're going to rescue one of these kids and bring them into our home. She documented the whole process of the adoption before she even had custody of the child. She was exploiting him for content. Myka, documents this whole thing, and then eventually she says, we're bringing him home. And she named him Huxley. Well, Myka was making her content for, I don't know how long did she have, maybe a couple months, maybe a year or so. She's doing all of her content. We're so happy. Here's the family. Here's our happy American family. Here's our adopted child. I'm Myka. And even though he's got a lot of disabilities, I'm super mom. I think Myka almost saw it as like a challenge. She was always posting about it in her little Facebook groups. And then Myka just stopped posting Huxley in videos one day. And everyone's like, well, where's Huxley? Where's this child that you paraded around for weeks? And then these murmurs start going around that Myka had returned Huxley to the adoption center. And it was true. She ended up giving her baby back and tried to sweep it under the rug. They intended to just never talk about Huxley, and she thought she wasn't gonna get away with it. When you adopt a child, that child is your responsibility.
We're gonna
Adopt from China. My child is not returnable.
3 years later.
His now new forever family.
That was the...
There wasn't a minute that I didn't try our hardest.
There's not a minute that you didn't try your hardest, other than the minute that you gave him away and then went to Bali without him. What you on about, love?
The last couple months have been like the hardest thing I could have ever imagined. Pouring our guts and our heart into this little boy.
You do your research and you do your research right, you could have a liquid gold mine and it could be insane.
Okay, Myka Stauffer, we love you so fiercely and can't believe we will be in China in 14 short days. I feel like the luckiest woman in the world. We love you. Sorry it's taken us so long to get to you, but we are coming, baby. You hadn't even adopted him yet. This is what I mean. Using him for content before you even have custody of the child. She posted this because she knew it was going to get likes.
Once you get that desirable, and a lot of brands are kind of fighting for places, rates get a little bit higher.
That little boy is
Wait a minute. Is she about to say gold?
liquid gold to my heart.
Okay. No, girl. You meant money. You said
Rates get a little bit higher.
That little boy.
Hold on, I need to see this. The last couple of days have been so hard. I don't want to sugarcoat anything. We've had a lot of meltdowns and a lot of behaviors that have had us on our knees begging God for guidance. On social media and YouTube, we rarely show the behaviors or the hard stuff. Because we try our best to respect our son's privacy and dignity, we have hard days, lots of them. I wish autism and adoption trauma had a manual to direct you through it all. This was her just straight up venting. There's actually 1,000 ways that Myka Stauffer could have done this better. You know, it first of all should have been a much more private adoption if she was going to do it. But honestly, the bottom line is she never should have adopted the child.
Boy is liquid gold to my heart.
We recently adopted a little guy from China.
For one reason, money.
When we adopted him, he had a totally different diagnosis than what we were told.
When I heard all of the things that doctor was telling us, it kind of went in one ear and out the other.
First of all, I used to be an oncology RN, and I was taking care of cancer patients. It wasn't my jam. I was depressed. I was bummed out. We were told that he had a brain tumor, and as a cancer nurse, I was comfortable with that.
You're a cancer nurse and you were depressed because it wasn't your jam? You were depressed? Okay.
Well, isn't that convenient?
We knew no matter what state he came to us that we would love him.
He actually had severe brain damage, autism.
He is developmentally on track. He is talking, he is walking, he's throwing balls. He's climbing furniture.
Dude, her saying all this stuff too, he is talking, he is walking, he is developmentally moving forward. That's her way of saying, hey, I got this kid out of here and now he's doing better because of me. Anyways, like the video. Let's finish off. Hold on. I got one more article to show you. How one teen is urging legislators in Washington state to help protect kids from being exploited in vlogs. A Washington state teenager is advocating for a bill to protect the privacy of children influencers. Chris McCarty, 18, a freshman at the University of Washington. That's interesting because I think that's a different girl that spoke, but maybe they got it started. Said they wanted to advocate for children's right to privacy after having learned about influencer Myka Stauffer, who shared extensive, intimate content about her adopted son before she relinquished custody because of his medical needs. Do you guys ever see teenagers get in like little internet fights or arguments, or maybe they're crying online, they post something really embarrassing, and your first thought is like, God, I'm so glad I didn't have a camera when I was 11. I've had that happen so many times. I mean, now imagine that you have a parent that starts documenting every meltdown and embarrassing moment from the age of 4. This is the best, like, insane comparison I can give you. Imagine your mom goes to your school with a whole bunch of, like, with a flash drive of all of your baby photos, and she puts them on a laptop and an HDMI projector and just starts showing everyone in the entire student body pictures of you as a kid. This is just online in YouTube for kids at school to bully them over. I don't think you guys realize how bad it is. Sorry, McCarty, who uses they, them pronouns, started the site Quit Clicking Kids to spread awareness and urge fellow advocates to take action in their own states. When they were a senior in high school last year, they cold emailed multiple state legislators and eventually worked with state rep Emily Wicks to craft HB 2023, which was reintroduced as HB 1627. So that's what that girl spoke on a little bit ago. HB 1627, which the House Civil Rights and Judiciary Committee discussed at a public hearing Tuesday, would protect the interests of minor children featured in for-profit family vlogs by requiring the parents of child influencers to set aside a part of the revenue from their content for separate funds for their child for when they reach adulthood. This law would affect creators who, whatever. I'm so happy.